Live. Alright, what's up everybody? I've got Marcos here. He's going to be joining me in lieu of Trop today. So we'll be doing our 1.5 episode, and we'll be focusing on Guild vs. Guild Season 3. I've got a preview of one of the things we'll be looking at today. We're going to go over a little tier list for the elements for our Season 3 for both offense and defense.
Hi everyone.
So, for those of you who may not know, I do have a bird. She likes to peck at my laptop and all of my stuff. You may also hear her scream. If you hear some screaming, it's not a person, it's a bird. Don't worry. Outside of that, I'm Metazoa. In case any of you haven't really seen me around before, I am pretty active on the Facebook, the Reddit, and the various multiple Discords. I focus on Arena, and that's what we'll be focusing on here today as well. My guest today is Marcos, probably one of the most famous people in the community. He's the one who really works to set up those simple, easy guides for the Reddit. He also posts them on the Discord and helps a lot of the community out pretty frequently with pretty much everything that you can do. He's also the guild lead for the Big Draki squad, who are one of the big contenders for both Stam and Guild vs. Guild Arena. And hello to you too, Mary Christie. Good to have you join us. It looks like we have Hex here as well. What's up, Knock? Good to see you, man. It looks like we've got 4 viewers right now. Let me see. Let me make sure I've got these on all the channels real quick. Let me post it to Facebook. And we've still got a minute here, so we'll go live in just a moment, or really live and like in depth and start talking. Oop, not on my personal Facebook, on the Dragon Quest Tact Global. And I'll hit the Reddit too. Why not? Just in case somebody doesn't see it on anything else. EP 1.5 is live. Featuring guest appearance from Marcos.
Hello.
And we'll do a little link. Get that in there.
Are you actually recording this one?
Yeah, I should be, assuming everything goes right, which hopefully it does. And there we go. We've got it up everywhere. This community doesn't allow links to be posted more than once. Okay, cool. All right, never mind. I guess Reddit will just figure it out as we go along. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. So first and foremost, let's look at Japan here. They just recently got a couple of new units released for the Dragon Quest III Part 2 event, the true Dragon Quest III event. So first one here, we have, as I start navigating my pages all wrong, there we go. This way I can look at everything all at once. So here we go. We got Robin Hood first. This is his full translation, everything. So I believe that's mystery unit, defense plus 30. We're going to go him to Awakening 5. It looks like he's got some pretty good stats. We'll do Master Rank 30. Like 575 attack. He's got a decent enough 440 agility, but that 1328 HP is pretty big. First ability here is Life is Great. 60% chance to reduce strength and wisdom in a 1 to 3 range. Next one is just a standard 3-line, 250% physical frizz damage. And last one, so it doesn't say it here, partially because it just doesn't translate well. We have what is essentially a baby Devil's Finesse. So it randomly inflicts 50% physical damage on enemies within range 6 times, with the rare chance to decrease defense. Awakening perks, we get that extreme killing machine effect, so reduce damage by 50% one time. I don't really care for that personally. We have the Awakening 1 perk being +2 move for one turn. It's like a worse version of Santa Ud. Hustle Muscle at the beginning of battle, the effect of increasing the strength is 3 turns. That is plus 15% attack for 3 turns. And final one is Life is Great. This one's actually the fun one. This is what really helps to bring him up for PvE, but really doesn't do anything for us in Arena. When the enemy, when he's attacked, if the enemy is within 1 to 3 range, he activates his first ability here and has a 60% chance to drop their attack and wisdom by 1 stage. He's weak to crack and bang. That's really, really bad right now. He resists whoosh and zam. You really don't need that. It's kind of one of the worst sets. We talked about this last episode. For those of you who may have been able to join us, sorry there wasn't a video on demand. I didn't know Twitch made me manually do that. Good news though. I'm sorry. What's up?
I don't think he's gonna work for Arena. Maybe he can work at GVG defense team.
It might be able to work for something like a defense team because you can't really lock him down here, at least not with anything substantial. Thank you, Chop. He looks like he sent over a couple of viewers for us. But Martial Lock and Charm both mean basically nothing. So you're just going to have to eat through that 1300 HP right there. It's good enough. He doesn't have a whole lot of range, but he has what he has. Thank you everybody for the new subscriptions. Glad to have you here with us. Once again, for all the people who just joined us, I'm Metazoa. Marcos is here as my special guest. We'll be going over Guild vs. Guild Season 3, but right now we're just hitting that news from JP. Outside of that, Marcos, how do you feel about this kit?
I think like he's probably the best at lowering attack and wisdom right now. Right? He probably is gonna need to tank some hits first. He's probably better at this than Ninzo right now, I think.
Oh wow, yeah. I guess that's pretty fair. He does have a good chance. I'd say that'd probably be better for like EX boss battles more than some of those like blooming doors where they get multiple threats. Like I know the big one to use Grandmaster Nimzo on is like blooming door 25 and 36, where you're trying to hit kind of all of the royal reptiles at once.
I think he's more like the Lionheart one, 24 and 30.
Oh, that's fair, because Slineheart's going to keep trying to punch into him, and he does resist stun. And this is a kind of a kit that really brings up a lot of opportunities for PvE in the future. Would you say that it looks fun? Because I know you're a big PvE guy. You do a lot of the PvE content and clears. Would you say that what's your general like full thought on Robin Hood here as far as looking at it from a PvE standpoint?
Give me 1 minute, because pizza just arrived.
Pizza just arrived. All right. Well, we'll put a pin in that. I'll start working on our next one here. We're not getting quite to that one yet. So we have the full set for Erdrick here as well. This guy is basically mini Nocturnus. So as we look to Awakening 5, because that's where a lot of people are going to get him. He's a 2nd anniversary unit. It's going to be like Nocturnus. It's going to be like Zaro. You're going to see him everywhere. So, and especially at 3+ Awakenings. So, as we go, most people are going to have that Mastery rank up to around 30 or so. He's looking close to 1400 HP. He's got a high amount of agility, a really good attack stat as well. He's got that same Zaro leadership plus 15% attack. Now, one of the big things when we start analyzing some of these really, really big units is we want to first off strip the kit of any kind of damage and focus on what it does personally. So Lightning Sword Flash, 1 to 4 range, occasionally stun. Phoenix Tenrai is unreflectable bang spell damage. Eternal Sword, that's going to be a whoosh discontinuum. We've seen the numbers on discontinuum from Zaro. This is one that can hit brilliant as well. And it trades off lowering attack. This one lowers defense instead, so it's a lot more aggressive too. And then we have our first S rank ability. It's a lot more damage, but it hits twice, and it hits twice really hard for 2 hits of 400% zap damage. So as we look through this, really what he's bringing here is a lot of damage, and then just like the ability to reduce defense, and kind of just the ability to stun a unit. That on its own isn't too great, but it's all of these perks that he gets because he comes with his own talent panel as well. So First Awake, or I should say this is our Zero Awake perk, our base perk here, he just doesn't get hit by status effects. He still gets hit by effects that will drop his stats, but not effects that will actually cause him to be like stunned, like paralysis, sleep, anything like that. No for 3 turns, which means similar to Robin Hood, you kind of just have to chunk through that HP. Let me move this around a little bit so I can... There we go. Now I can actually see the chat. Trop is rating with a party of 5. Hey, Trop. Hey, Pack. What's up, Hutch? All right. So, let's see here. Honestly, first look at this kit. It looks kind of just like Die, but better. You've got Bang, Zap, and Whoosh. That's a triple element kit with a really strong coup in really relevant elements. His other perks here, First Awake is going to be the same as Nocturnus First Awake. He's going to get all of his stats up on every odd number turn, so 1 and 3 for Arena. Third Awake here is Nocturnus's base perk. It's 20% DR for 3 turns. You're going to have a lot of stuff that you really have to push through. Fifth Awake here is raise HP by 100. I kind of like that more than crit chance, but everybody's going to vary. This, however, though, is the part that scares me. So they finally got this actually revealed. Frizz weak. This is exciting, but this is the part that really bothers me a little bit, because it means that Zaro is going to stay relevant. Yes, your boy Erdrick here can really punch some damage in to Fallen Angel Corvus, and he can punch into Zaro as well. But that Frizz weakness means Crimson Cut is going to hit him for brilliant damage, for a lot of damage. He's also got Sleep weakness, and he has Spell Lock weakness. I don't know if we can actually Spell Lock him. If somebody wants to confirm that, I don't know if it's like these are all the things, or if it's just things that like prevent him from moving or taking actions. If somebody would like to confirm that for me, please. Right now, I'm just going to assume that it's all of these, all the status ailments. Zam weakness is very nice. We love to see Zam weakness because it helps to let those Zam units kind of come in. Things like Barbarous. However, what he's going to be paired along with, which is going to be stuff like Fallen Angel Corvus and Zaro, are both going to be resisting Zam anyway. So Frizz really hurts him, but is kind of how they're balancing him. Zam, on the other hand, is kind of just a good weakness to have at this point. Like, if you're going to pick anything, pick Zam, because out of all of the other meta units that he's going to get paired with, most of them are going to be resisting Zam anyway. Alright, and then we'll talk about Bear a Monster a little bit. He's going to be the banner A for our Erdrick banner. So anybody who's pulling on him, you're going to have him at least Awakening 5. He's got a decent amount of HP. He's a lot faster than Big Barry. So this guy has a base 430. Decent wisdom because he is a spellcaster. They didn't try and do the hybrid thing that they did with Barry originally and that they tried to do again with Rickard. I appreciate them for that so much. Commit. That's all I want to say. It's just like, commit, please. Nobody likes to try and do a hybrid because then you have a unit that doesn't do anything well. Let me translate this real quick. So Fuddle, on his basic stuff, he only has 2 move. That kind of sucks. unfortunately. But he is a 35 weight mystery unit, which is always nice. Dazzling Light. So this is our first access to an ability that reduces spell resistance without actually causing damage. It'll be great for clearing stuff that you kind of need to punch a ton of damage into before you actually clear it. Things like anything you're going to try and take out with Jessica that spawns a whole bunch of stuff when you actually hit it. It also has the ability that it can rarely confuse. Evil Fire. So this is going to be like Sorceria Flash. It almost has the same exact modifier too. Sorceria Flash being Ashland's ability, and it's that kind of staple where it's 1, 2, 3 range, except it also hits 1 closer as well. So it's 6 tiles. It's almost a fan. In fact, they could have made this a fan, and I don't feel like it would have been a problem because he has 2 move anyway. But this is a fun little perk here. So that is a 40% chance when being physically or martially hit to confuse the enemy, which is nice. We like that. It's going to be annoying for anybody running physical or martial teams, but it's nice enough. 3 is basically useless. It's rarely greatly raises defense. Useless. Stay away. 5, however, is going to be confusion success rate plus 5%. Unfortunately, they gave us rare buff instead of chaos success rate plus 5% again. So we can't actually reach guarantee off of his Metapenny body or his confusion body, which kind of sucks, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. So unlike our traditional Barry, he's actually weak to bang, funnily enough, which means you can use Barry to blow up Barry. I found it ironic. I kind of like
And
that
I'm back.
personally. Hey Marcos, how you doing, man? I was just finishing up Barra Monster, who is Erdrick's A banner unit. Just finished up talking about the kit here. Really just Zam Whoosh. That's whatever. It is what it is. Curse and Poison Wake. It's the same as Barry. It's fine.
He's 100% spell resistance down, right?
Is it? No, it's a 40% chance spell resistance down.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 40% chance. So that'll
I
go up
didn't
to a
see.
50% chance and a 30% chance. Or I
Oh yeah,
should
so
say a 35% chance. At 5 away.
oh yeah, I know. So it's not very good.
No, it's not. Not for anything consistent for Arena. You could use that for stuff like PvE, I was talking about. Some of those units who spawn a whole bunch of things when they're actually hit and they take damage. You can use this to kind of reduce spell resistance and use it to just like nuke away with somebody like Jessica, who will just mega magic and make all of your problems disappear with that. Outside of that, he's not terribly relevant. Really, it's nice that he has Fuddle and he has Evil
Yeah,
Fire.
there are better units than yeah, but it's an A. Yeah.
It's an A.
What can you do?
Exactly. What can you do? So that's our kind of little overview here of the 3 units. Erdrick's going to be super powerful. Robin Hood's going to be great for PvE content and is going to be annoying to deal with in Arena because he's going to have that little bit of extra RNG. Barrow Monster is forgettable. He's going to be a little bit annoying if people try and like put him in just to fill weight, but he's honestly pretty much completely forgettable. So now that we've covered that, let's cover our new units coming in the Guild versus Guild Season 3. So, Marcos, I have a question for you. Are you prepared for Guild versus Guild Season 3?
Um, somewhat. I
Mentally
don't know.
prepared.
Oh yeah,
Are your units prepared? You've been working on all the XP up, that gold up, getting everything going.
I I went from 155 clears on the gold weekend to 400, more or less.
Oh,
So
bless. Did you do the alchemy stone mining?
I did 200 of those.
Oh, nice. I had just an absolute ton of stamina herbs to burn through, and I've been doing 8 refreshes. So I did all 500 of the alchemy missions. And I kind of I kind of just burned today the gold stuff because I didn't really have anything else to farm. I went really hard on Stella and really hard on Leviathan pretty much immediately. And I did a Kage, which kind of left me burnt out on the event. So now I'm trying to find things to farm. So now I'm finally going back and doing all the gold and stuff like that. Hey, little
I
baby, don't
think
stop.
people were just too excited about the figs, but they didn't realize that they are not worth farming on their own.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm at I think 70 figs, and for the most part, all I've really done is Stella Wake 5. I cleared most of the general like boss map content, and I brought Leviathan to a Wake 5, and I got like one copy of each of the basic units for recruit.
Yeah, about the same. My Leviathan is still at, I think, 15 out of 40, but
Oh
that
wow.
we'll have to wait until the next, until after the weekend.
Yeah, because you're going to be farming gold. But so I've got a whole bunch of units lined up. These are all the new guys that have dropped since our guild versus guild season 2 ended. Some of these are going to be blooms. Some of these are going to be various other things. Let me kill that. And then at the end here, we're going to go through an offense and defense tier list for season 3 for these elements. So you got the 8 elements lined up there, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But first things first, young Terry. So we're all pretty familiar with his kit. I'm gonna just go through it real quick. Forge ahead gives you extra movement. How hard? Yeah, I went 500. Marcos, I think you said 300, 200.
100.
Yeah, that's where most people stopped. I do a ton of alchemy. That's where I spend most. Alchemy and tomes. Trying to upgrade abilities is where I spend like almost all of my gold. Thankfully, I did like 8 refreshes and did it all on gold this weekend, so I'm back up to 70k. But I am a poor man. I see gold and I see spending. But yeah, young Terry, real quick, we'll go through his stuff. He has a really high HP even at Awakening 0. Agility is also really high. He's a martial support unit. He can raise movement. He can reduce damage taken as well as heal. He also has this effect here. It raises physical and spell potency. It's a little weirdly phrased because it basically just straight raises the damage of that damage type. So it's not actually like adding to the potency, it's adding straight damage. So physical and spell damage is increased by 15%. And then Great Tree Elixir. This isn't something that's going to really come up a whole lot for Guild versus for Arena, but I mean, maybe you have like Dragonoid or something, and you want to hit that third Doruora, or maybe you have a whole bunch of people who need healing, something like that. Awakening 1, or sorry, the base is also really good. This allows them to do things like outspeed Giulianti and Elena. Did you pull for young Terry Marcos?
Yes. I
What
got
awakening did
mine
you get him
at.
to?
I just got him at 0 and Awaken with shards.
Oh, nice. Have you been using him in arena at all?
Not in arena,
Just
but
for PVE clears and stuff like that?
he pretty much changed most of my PvE teams.
Yeah, and I'll talk about it a little bit when we get to Clubber at the end. For me, I don't do PVE. I like to joke with Trop and say that we've got 3 brain cells, and they're committed to turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. We get a brain cell for each turn because we're arena players. That's all we do. But Clubber helped me change that and is basically powering me through Blossom Door 40.
Was
Um,
doing that those heroes challenges that end up in Zaro. I still haven't done them all yet. But
oh, I'm
basically my teams are 2 DPS, Seraphy, Diamond, and Terry.
Yeah, pretty much literally exactly what my Blossoming Door teams are now. Except add Nightclumber as one of the DPS. Because we just play whack-a-mole and we go through. Um, but so, First Awakening here is, of course, Party Booster Response. When one of your units attacks physically, he increases their attack. It's nice. It's good. Same thing at 3 Awake, except it's for Wisdom on spells. Fun fact, if you're using Crimson Cuts or Doru Ora, he does increase the Wisdom, not the attack. Which means, basically, both of these are useless if you're going to be going for stuff like Crimson Cuts or Dodoraura. Fifth one is completely unnecessary for Arena. It just restores some of his MP. It's his Seraphi stuff.
He actually doesn't need it anywhere. Even in PvE, I
No, he
never
doesn't.
ran out of MP on him.
I think originally when he dropped, somebody was talking about something like, oh yeah, no, his auto MP allows you to do something like completely stall out some kind of EX fight, and that was literally it. Like literally, that was it. That was the only use for the Fifth Awakening, because Tree Elixir just restores a ton of MP too. But so he is actually weak to Sizz and Zam, and resistant to Crack and Frizz. It kind of hurts that he's resistant to Frizz and Crack, because that's two really, really good things to be resistant to. Sizz weakness hurts him so much, though. Like, that, I love him being weak to Sizz. And him being weak to Zam as well, it really, really helped me get my Barbarous videos up, because he's one of the biggest things right now that is out there that's weak to Zam. Sleep and
Yeah.
Poison weakness, too. Fairly standard hero stuff. Uh, Marcos, have you fought him in arena yet?
Don't think I ever saw any team with him at Arena.
I have seen him quite a bit, and let me tell you, this guy is kind of a pain to deal with. Because once you start seeing like Awakening 3 and you start seeing all these stats on here, thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I'm juggling a couple of things all at once, so I can't quite see what's going on, but I appreciate you. But like 1238, fast as can be. Usually he's either going to basically buff up the rest of the team so they end up doing a bunch of increased damage, or just healing them and giving them damage resistance. Like, it happens pretty frequently. He's a giant pain to deal with, and I understand why JP rated him so high on their guild versus guild defense list. So look out for young Terry. He's not going to do much on his own, but he's going to make every problem unit that you face even more of a problem. And
I
just
think
more annoying.
if you're facing a Blitz team, it could be a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem when you're facing blitz teams. Things that go very fast. You'll see stuff like Zaro and or Fallen Angel Corvus, Nocturnus even getting boosted by this, and you'll see them just get a whole bunch of HP back. Things that normally would take these units down. Suddenly, young Terry's going turn 1, and he's just going to defend judiciously because he's got that at 6 range, at a multi-heal range right there. It's a lot. And the heal isn't that big, but it also gives them 15% DR if they don't already have a damage resistance buff,
I think
which is
most
literally.
units have now.
I'm sorry.
Most units have it now.
Yeah, a lot of the big threats, but like Zaro doesn't. Zaro doesn't. I actually had it happen a lot to me because Veronica. I'd fight these teams that had like Young Terry and Veronica, and I'd ping damage on Veronica and try and clear up on turn 2, forgetting that Young Terry's gonna heal her up, and like he heals her up and gives her the DR. I'm like, oh no, my fulmination breath from Grey Gnarl isn't gonna take him out anymore. And then dual kaboom happens and I die. Thankfully that was on practice matches for the most part. But yeah, Young Terry, he's gonna be a pain. Watch out for him. Next up, we have Diamond Slime. Tell me, Marcos. How many Diamond Slimes did you pull?
Same thing. Pulled one, awakened with shards.
Immediately.
Oh yeah.
So for a long time we've been saying don't do cover tanks in arena, right? Diamond Slime is a big exception to this, of course, because Diamond Slime is the best boy. Like, look at that beautiful little face and tell me that is not the face of death. It's mainly the fact that he gets 45% damage resistance just straight off the bat, and you can still put that on. What's up, Vash? Good to have you, man. And that stacks with his selflessness. And he can hit 999 defense very easily. Like, usually one stage of defense up is enough to get him to 999 defense. He is very happy aces. And then we look at Adamant Cannon, and I did a couple of videos showcasing the damage on Adamant Cannon. For those of you who are unaware, this is literally a Zoma Psy Cannon with like a higher wisdom cap. Like, it's extremely good. Thankfully, the AI won't use it. I think it's unless a unit is under 30%.
I
And then,
think
like,
it might prioritize the kill. I don't know.
I think it might prioritize the kill as well, but I'm not entirely sure. And then, of course, this is the thing that people love about Diamond. He has the same thing as Gem Slime, except he also resists Zam too. So he has his weakness is basically neutral. That's it. And
And he still has metal body.
yep, and he gets the metal body. This thing takes so much damage and just keeps punching through. So I know that I've got some strategies for Diamond Slime, but tell me. But also attacks all if all other allies are dead. Yes, he does also attack if all of his other allies are knocked out, which basically will revert any unit who is a support, debuff, etc. unit to just straight up attack roll. They will try and just go for damage at that point. It was one of the AI changes around first Annie, and it was a game changer. It was perfect. So Marcos, do you have any strats for taking on these Diamond Slime teams?
I have a couple ideas.
Would you like to share any of
Uh,
them?
um. Well, I don't know. Maybe charm. Queen
So,
slime.
uh, oh yeah,
If
because Queen Slime, as we
you wanna
look
hit
at
a lot
her
of
real
people,
quick, I think it's her new slam rarely charms. So that's
is it
20%
rare?
on each of them. Yes. I keep thinking it's spell lock. I keep flipping those two around, but yeah, she gets
I think
rare.
her she has one blossoming that gives her spell lock on everything. I think.
Uh, yes. Spell lock martial. When making a martial attack, very rarely locks spells.
Yes.
So good, very good call on that. I was gonna say a lot of people are looking at Jade because she's basically a free 5 awake, but Charm is actually kind of good because he is actually weak to one thing, and it is Charm. Because I mean, honestly, that's the face of a simp if I've ever seen one. But Diamond Slime here is weak to it, so anybody, each hit from that Queen Press does have a 40% chance to charm Diamond Slime, which is like Confusion but slightly better. Actually, Marcos, have you actually seen Charm go off?
Yes. It's uh some 37 strats have it against the those great dragons.
Is there actually like a chance for I haven't actually like seen this go off and do anything. I remember everybody was talking about it and like it had a chance for the unit to like use an actual move. Is that a thing?
It it does.
Okay.
Um, one of the battles of the heroes this event, the Jessica tried to charm your unit, and she charmed my diamond slime, and he used adamant cannon on someone.
That's fantastic. Do you know what the chances are for it to use one of its own
I
moves
have
by chance?
I don't know. I
I
wish I
have
did, but I don't.
literally no idea either. Uh, I use it. I do pretty much just arena, and like I've never seen it actually go off out of like the 6 or 7 charms that I've actually had. So there's a chance, which means prepare for it, but we don't know what that actual chance for it to use these things are. But yeah, big tanky
The
unit.
only the only other way is to kill it, but
Yeah,
your video showed it takes a bit of work to do so.
yep. Marcus is referring to one of my most popular videos. It took an entire physical team to take down just my diamond slime, and it took one of those physical units critting on a full attack to actually kill it too, and that was on a physical up week. I will say, diamond slime. One of your best bets against diamond slime is typeless spell, martial, and breath damage. If you can't get it before it's selfless, then you just try and cleave it with as much of that as possible and just kind of roll with the punches there. I've done a lot of practice arena matches against Diamond, and things like Doruora, Beastmaster Blast from Vera. We're also talking about stuff like Missile from even just like Metal Dragon. All of that, yep, all of that does great damage to Diamond Slime here. I've also used Baramos quite a bit as well because he gets that typeless breath damage in. It's not as high as something like a Missile or, you
It's
know,
175. It's way lower.
it's way
The Beast
lower.
Missile is 220. The Beast Massive from Vera is 255,
Yeah,
260. I
it's
don't know.
ridiculously high. But
Yes.
it does also carry confusion chance, and it gives me the versatility of usually you see these things paired along with like Fallen Angel Corvus or various other things that are weak to confusion. Elena is a very popular one. And we don't get to preview what those teams look like before they actually go into the match.
Yeah.
So I kind of end up bringing Barry a lot, and if it kind of moves in and ends up selfless thing a few things, I kind of just throw Barry at it, and
Yes.
sometimes it be what it be. Yeah, so that's
I
Diamond
think
Slime.
this unit is basically the one that's gonna change the way GVG is played.
Yeah, very much so. So get those units ready for Diamond Slime. There's going to be a lot of guilds that pulled for Diamond Slime because it's really good for guild versus guild, and guild versus guild is gems. I actually like to use this unit on offense a lot too. It's very versatile. You can selflessness to cover. You can adamant cannon for just like a good 1k psi cannon damage. And follow-ups are great. It's like Schleiman, but much worse. It's like a much worse version of Sliman. But it's still a thing. Thank you, S. Granks, for the follow. So we've got Grey Gnarl here next. Diamond Slime, we can go ahead and kick to the curb. So I'm going to go back and reference something real quick. He actually has similar resistances to Terry here. So Sizz weak and Zam weak. Resist crack and zap. So he resists himself, which is pretty important. For those of you who don't know, this guy is a ton of HP. He's a breath only unit. So the only thing he needs is he needs HP and he needs agility. That's it. I covered him last time. Frizz and Zap are extremely good combination to have. And then like his stack breath is still occasionally binds. This is going to be a big problem on guild versus guild as well. Get those Sizz units ready. Get some bang units ready because he's gonna hurt.
Most of these new units are weak to Cs.
Yes.
At least that's good.
Sizz is probably one of our best elements. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead. This is what I'm calling right now, just straight up. If anybody wants to call me out on that, feel free, go ahead. But Sizz is probably the best offense unit, or the best offense effectiveness, because it will hit brilliant or neutral on most any of the big threats, and it's very rarely resisted. Like we have like Queen Slime. Queen Slime resists Sizz. Nightclubber is so
Nightclubber.
easy to bait, you don't even need to worry about the fact that, like, if you see Nightclubber on an enemy team for, like, defense, you don't even need to worry about it. Like, it's so easy to bait, and it's so easy to just, like, deal with, because he's got 2 move on an Ultra Stomp. That's it. Just, like, don't put your dudes in range for an Ultra Stomp. But we've got, like, Queen
Discovered by a
Slime.
Diamond Slime. And where do you position?
Ah! He's also weak to sleep. And you can outspeed Diamond Slime pretty easily. But like Dread Dragon, does Dread Dragon resist Sizz? Does he resist himself? He doesn't even resist himself. Fallen Angel Corvus, no. A regular Corvus is weak to Sizz. Fallen Angel
Most
Corvus
units
is not.
don't resist themselves.
A lot. Oh. Now that you mention it, yeah. I'm used to units resisting themselves. I that one usually sticks out of my head. Yeah.
Yeah, that's from Pokemon.
Fair. Conflag Orb is going to hit like Draconic Flame with a bit more range. Fulmination Breath is going to hit a lot harder than Ice from Great Dragon. You're looking at like 1.5 times damage. Where Ice can hit like 800, 900 damage, Fulmination can hit up to like 1200 Brilliant. Not only that, but it also has the effect of occasionally lowers zap resistance. So if it doesn't die the first time, you can be sure that it will die the second time. Hero of the Heavens, Zap Force for everyone. It's awesome. I talked about it last time. Blood of the Berserker keeps that move up so he gets to 3 move and gives him the 20% breath potency. It's just so much value on this unit. Everything that it does is just crazy value. And then, of course, on turn 3, we don't really need the restore MP part, but he does get just straight up a 30% damage increase. Just why not? Why not give him a 30% damage increase on turn 3? It makes Draconic Flame hit like a truck. And then he gets Dragon Scale at 5 awake. You'll see these guys getting around 2k if they're built defensively. So it's really like dealing with a worse version of Dragon Lord's true form, in that it's worse for you to deal with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because once again, we're going to go back down here. He's not really CCable either. Like, he resists paralysis. Charm is weak, but that doesn't matter. Poison is weak, but that doesn't really matter unless you're running like Eric and you... even if you're running Eric and you're trying to get the Edge of Death follow-up, like, he still resists paralysis.
Yeah, but how much does an Edge of Death do?
A good amount of damage. A really good amount of damage. Not enough to kill him usually without a crit.
He's gonna take 2.
He's gonna take 2. Not enough. I actually found this out because my Grey Gnarl is 5 awake. And I was an idiot who was like, yeah, it's Eric. He uses Chill Blaze. Obviously, duh. And he went for the Edge of Death instead.
Obviously?
Yeah, because Grey Gnarl resists crack.
Yes.
So he was the only thing in range for Edge of Death, and he didn't have anything else in range for Chill Blaze. So he went and he hit Grey Gnarl twice, and it didn't kill him outright, but it put me on my toes. Thankfully, no crits, though.
Envenomate would probably kill you next turn, if there was a next turn.
Yep, but I am the type of person who runs mid-heal on Hadler, so I kind of just stack the selflessness and then just mid-heal for like 600 and got myself back in the game. So thankfully that one was fine. Yeah, Sizz and Zam weakness, it's the same stuff as Terry. Zam is a bit relevant because it hits both Terry and Grey Gnarl, and those are both going to be really big defensive units. Sizz is exceptionally relevant, as we talked about previous. And yes, aces. Hadler very much works. Yes, Vash, Rickard, Ashlyn, Dread. All of those really, really work. KSS, Fallen Angel Corvus. All of it is fantastic.
KSS also is weak against Zap, so be mindful.
He is weak against Zap. It's not enough to take him out, but yes, you are very much right there, Marcos. It will still hit him for like 1k damage, which puts him into an easy way to get knocked out. So, I know a lot of people aren't really on that Corvus hype like I am. I am extremely on that Corvus hype. I love this unit. This is a fantastic unit. Like, I'm going to just bring those stats up there. That's a lot of HP. That's a lot of HP. That's a lot of MP. That's a good amount of agility. That's a lot of wisdom. And he gets defense up, spell res up, and move up on odd turns. He gets spell potency up on even turns. And he's got the spell potency leadership. Like, this is an awesome unit. I love this unit. Dual Swoosh, Psycho Burst, Angelic Ward. It's everything I could have asked for and more. That being said, on defense, unless you're running Whoosh weak units, he's not a whole lot of a threat because he doesn't use his biggest ability here, Angelic Ward. He's really a lot more of an offense unit. I actually haven't even seen him yet in Arena, and I've been doing a lot of practice matches to get ready for the Guild vs. Guild season that's dropping tomorrow. He is weak to Frizzances, so Crimson Cut is going to hit him. All of the stuff you're going to overlap for stuff like Grey Gnarl is going to hit him really hard as well. Bang and Zap resistant, though. This is a big one, because when you start pairing him with his Fallen Angel version or Zaro, now those Bang units that you were using
Do nothing.
do nothing. And not like nothing like, oh, you can chip for like 200 damage like you can with like Nocturnus. Like literally nothing. He negates anything under 30%. So add an extra 30% to this and then 30% of whatever that new total is. Before you even talk about like swords and stuff like that. It's like having multi-hit protection. Which is really, really nice because I'm going to step away from the computer for a moment because the bird is chewing through the doors, but I'm going to keep talking. But multi-hit protection is really nice because you want multi-hit so you can deal with units like Zaro. It makes it really, really easy to deal with units like Zaro. Because now you don't have to commit multiple actions to take him out. You only have to commit, 2. Usually one to actually get him low enough, and then the second one to just punch through and finish off.
Your hits aren't doing at least, assuming a sword at least 500 at versus a 5 awakening, you're doing nothing.
Yeah, at 5 awake, I can punch, or I can get mine up to about 2k, which is about 600. So it's enough for some of the weaker neutral stuff to kind of slip under, and anything he, resists, and pretty much any of the multi-hits. With Angelic Ward, I can even, take the hits from Dread Dragon. Because I tried that, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. What's up, Insane? Good to have you join us on the stream here. We have 15 viewers. That's great. We're 46 minutes in now. What's up, Swagger Craft 1? It's good to see you as well. So, do you have any thoughts on Corvus? Any worries about seeing this unit in Guild versus Guild at all?
I think I will be worried if I see 1/5 awakened, but I don't think, unless I'm fighting you, I don't think I'm gonna see anyone
Well,
using.
I think there were a couple of other people who got up to fight. Oh, what's up? It's Game Vision. There's a couple other people I know because I am apparently now known as the Temptation Devil. I can be your Angle or I could be your Devil. And I am right now this guy, the Temptation Devil, who is tempting everybody to go ahead and max awake their units. So I've seen a couple of people start calling me out, being like, dude, why'd you showcase him doing 2k brilliant damage? My finger slipped. Now he's max awake. I blame you. But yeah, so I think there's going to be a couple of them running around. I don't know if we'll actually see any on defense because, like I said,
it's also a better unit for attack. It doesn't do much on the defense. Defense, you have to rely on chaos, and it's pretty straightforward how to deal with him. He's never gonna use Angelic Ward, because an attack unit only uses buff on someone else. They wouldn't use on themselves.
It's like dealing with Zoma again. You just stay out of range and then you just punch him for a lot of damage. Like, it's fine. Just take him out. And funnily enough, both of the Corvus are just like really, really good for offense and not nearly as good on defense. Now, of course, you might have a different opinion than I, but yeah, my main thing here is a lot of people put their Fallen Angel Corvus because he's the big unit for this one for a lot of people. They brought him to 1 awake, and
it's the same as Zaro. He's not as good for defense as people thought he was.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of trickiness. At least with Zaro, there was a lot of trickiness because it was like, how high can you push your Dole with HP before he starts using Crimson Cuts over Discontinuum? What can you do? And blah, 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 blah. But with Fallen Angel Corvus...
Like Spiro, and be done with it.
Yeah. Because he's never going to use this first one here. because anything that's in range for that is in range for Fallen Angel Blow, so he'll always prioritize Fallen Angel Blow. Catastrophe just means don't put a unit directly next to him without having a plan to deal with it. Like, yes, this is really good. Sure hit, a ton of physical damage, ability to lower it. Just, it's really easy. Just don't put a unit next to him unless, like, you're just not. Just deal with him because, like, he's weak to
By
confusion.
the way, on defense, there's a pretty good chance that he's gonna try to use the second attack versus Corvus, I think, versus Domegos.
Yeah, Fallen Angel Blow. He uses that literally constantly. And if you have mystery units, it
Yeah, because it's
decreases the
lower mana.
potency. Yeah. I'm not terribly scared of this guy. Kind of like Zaro, for me at least, it's easier when I see him at Max Awake because I know he's going to go for that Fallen Angel Blow, and I know it's not going to be a problem. Versus instead of, anything else, I know I can just bring out Dole and I can soak, and it's not a problem. And maybe I bring out Hadler, and maybe Hadler soaks a little bit too. But crits happen, and I really don't want to have to rely on not having crits
His
happen.
range is also not that good, so there are ways to hide against him. His agility is okay.
His
It's a
agility
bit
is on
high.
the lower side. It's 437 at. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That was at Awakening 1.
Or 97.
At Awakening 5, it is 517. He's on the higher side. I lied. The big thing here is a lot of people aren't going to be running him with claws because he's a physical unit, so he needs as much attack as possible. So a lot of units that we look at, a lot of people will put claws on them. Fallen Angel Corvus, not so much. A lot of people put more attack on him because they want to see Miam do big number. Miam wants to see big number. Maybe that'll change for guild versus guild, though. Of course.
I usually go for HP instead of agility on my defense.
Yep,
But
and
that's also cause I'm not a whale. I'm free to play, so
yeah,
my units aren't gonna outspeed.
yep. And when you put HP on him, it's 20% better because he has 20% DR as well. But yeah, he's got some sure hit. He's got some physical crit rate. He resists Frizz Zam. I talked about it previously. This is a great unit for doing things like baiting Zaro. Like, if you're having any problems with Zaro, this unit fixes it. Like, you just run up and Zaro goes, oh, I can discontinue him, and then misses every time. Not only that, but you don't even have to worry about his evasion because you just sure hit for a lot of hits. So you have a very wide threshold to be able to take Zaro out. He's also only weak to Martial Lock, but Confusion is the big thing. If you're facing this unit, Barry takes him out real easily. There's also Damselfly for everybody who was around for the event that just ended. Damselfly is amazing. It's probably one of our best B units. In fact,
I'd say it's the best.
yeah, probably the best. We'll go ahead. We'll just look at him real quick, and there we go. Very first thing. So everybody got him to Awakening 5, and then Master Rank 40 because it's a general family. It's got great stats. It's got high enough HP, high enough agility, but it's got Bewildering Breath, which is just like a 50% confusion rate. It's great. This is an awesome unit at 4 range, so it has a 7 range confusion. Weak to Crack and Bang. Like, this, if you need to fill weight, you're probably going to use this unit. 4 S's and a 25 Damselfly. Boom. It's a great way to do it. I'll go ahead and kill that. So while we're getting to our blooms here, Marcos actually reminded me Platypunk got his bloom along with Queen Slime and Night Clubber. So this is a fun one for 5 weight. If you look, I went ahead, I already set it to Awakening 5, Master Rank 40, and Full Talent Blossom. Those stats are god awful. But we're not bringing this unit for stats. As Marcos was so kind to remind me.
Oh, yep.
Where's his bloom? Ah, here's his bloom thing. The main things we're looking at are Platypunk Dance. I'm sorry. Strangely Alluring Tail. Action Start. Just has a 10% chance of increasing tension for all allies. And Platypunk Dance rarely raises the attack, defense, agility, and wisdom of all allies in an area of effect. This is the type of thing.
By the way, all these roles are separate, so there's a 20% chance for each.
Oh,
stat.
really?
Yep. I believe so. I might be wrong here,
Let's.
but that's how it works on some other skills like this.
Yes, that is literally how. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh wow. Okay, that's much better than I previously thought. Yeah, that's if you're looking to just institute some chaos in your guild versus guild defense, not offense, defense team, take Marcus's recommendation at a 5 weight for
If I have 10 weight, I wouldn't bring him. I would bring like something like a stump jump or a Leary,
Leary or Heal
but
Slime.
I don't know. I wouldn't bring him like.
I like Heal Slime. I like Heal Slime a lot. The +1
Uh,
attack ends up being fairly relevant, and it ends up being fairly good.
I think
So
it's just too squishy. Stump can get a lot of HP. Weirdly.
it is too squishy right now. Actually, I lost points this week because I was using Heal Slime, and Grey Gnarl just decided, oop, here's a fireball from 7 range.
Think I I I
Dead.
was pushing my
Full
stump
HP build.
jump
Dead.
to like 1.3k
Woo,
on
that's a
the
lot. That's like 30.
so
That's a lot. Bless.
mine is I think fully blossomed, or at least the stat nodes are.
Let me.
Even the TP.
So, Stump Jump here. Let's see. Mine's Awakening 5, thank God. Yeah, you have like 800
Uh,
base on that. That's really good. Frizz and Zam, a little bit of resistance to each.
I give him a sword. He reaches
Yeah,
1.3.
and he's got
Yeah,
that mini Seraphi effect too. Sealing Breath,
yeah.
50% chance to lock physical and spell. That's enough to
That's why
lock.
you have him.
Yeah, that's enough to lock
He's
Zaro's Crimson
he's
Cuts too.
but he doesn't use that on defense. I think
I've
his
seen him
support.
use
He's
it
not
on.
the buff.
So funnily enough,
Really?
he's categorized as a support role, but I remember we were watching. I think it was one of Trop streams, or maybe it was one of the Guild versus Guild streams that we were watching, and we watched him use the Sealing Breath on defense. So
Maybe I think every people need to be under a certain HP threshold for him to heal. Otherwise, he does something else, and there's something else he could do.
also very fair. Good mention though. If you've got 10 weight, Stump Jump's great. If you've got 5 weight, Platypunk or Ghost are probably going to be some of your best bets. So moving on, Dread Dragon. Have you bloomed Dread Dragon yet?
Partially.
Partially. Is it a
Yes.
gold thing? A flower thing?
Um, both a bit. Now I have the gold, but there are other priorities. So a flower thing.
That's fair. If you're in the chat and you have actually gone ahead and bloomed Dread Dragon, speak up because I haven't. I want to see those damage numbers. The only time I actually went to fight it, 2 times. I went and I just blew it up with Hadler the first time. The second time I used it to see how much damage I could negate with Angelic Ward. And fun fact, 0. But yeah,
Um, I think he does.
that's a
It's
lot
because
of
it's a.
HP.
Oh yeah.
People were saying he was a little
Also,
bit low on HP. That's a lot of HP still. That's
he
1239.
does. He does have the scales also as a blossom.
Yeah, he has Dragon Scale, 488 agility. That's fast enough. He has so much attack. He he's one of those units that Trop. What kind of damage does Dread Dragon hit with his Sizz Breath? I'm assuming you have it. Yeah, Trop Dragon. What kind of damage does this Sizzling Twin Fire reach? Because I'm lazy and I don't want to do math. So I'm going to rely on anecdotal evidence. He gets breath up 20%. Move plus 1.
Yes, that's the second node that I got.
Oh my god, this is so much better than I thought it was. The ones that I fought were still at 2 move. I didn't realize he had 3 move. That's a 7 range Sizz. Okay,
And
never mind. He's actually really good. I'm gonna call it Dread Dragon. I like this a lot.
the damage is a bit lower than the LTF, but his potencies put him a bit. I think put him way over it.
It should be relatively close. Because let's see, it's 10% there. I think it's a 210 base, or is it a 210 base? It's either a 210 or a 220 base for Sizzling Twin Fire. Yeah, 220
Is that
base.
20?
This is okay. I'm gonna call it.
One of
God.
his nodes is also an excess 20% but potent.
Yep. So he's got 20% from the bloom, and then
He's
10%.
he's not gonna be better than the LTF in longer fights, but that doesn't apply to arena.
Yeah. Because
Because the LTF get the
fitty weight.
potency ups.
Also, if you're running Great Dragon or Dimensional Dragon, he gets an extra 20% on top of that too. This is great. I thought he was still 2 moves, so I was like, he's got 6 range. It's variable range, but it's fine, blah, blah, blah. No, this dude has 7 range. This is a lot better than I thought it was. He is a one-trick pony. It is just Sizzling Fire. He is weak to Bang and Zap, which are two of the worst things to be weak to right now.
He had 0 skills, now he has 1. So
Yeah, he has 1 skill, and you are going to use that 1 skill until he is gone. But thankfully, Sizz is, we're going to go ahead and still keep calling that one of the best elements, if not the best element right now for Season 3. Actually, if I had the extra orbs, I'd probably go ahead and bloom my Dread Dragon, which would suck because I have no gold. But now I'm really tempted because there's a lot you can do. But Dimensional Dragon is on the way too, because we'll be hitting that hopefully a little bit later on. And I really want to bloom Dimdra over Dread Dragon.
okay. I didn't like Jimdar that much, but
You
sure.
didn't like the Dimdra bloom?
Not really.
I mean, he's got a similar style. He's just, I'm going to go to the Dimdra bloom real quick because I stand my boy Dimdra. One of the things I like is kind of like Barbarous. He's not locked in pretty much just to breath. He can also be used for physical because once you get him high enough, I actually got crazy lucky off the value banners and got a ton of awakening off value banners for him. Like, he's got a massive attack pool. He's
Speaking of
fast.
breath unit, I randomly got my Bulldozer, which is the only unit with breath lock,
Yeah.
from non-existent to Awaken 4 on the value banish.
Oh, bless. We love that. But yeah, like, he's got crack, bang. He's got a T breath, a T breath, and a single target hit. He's got dimensional ice slash, which isn't great but can be useful. And he's got a better version of the Dole perk because he can also phase through enemies. He gets a +1 move, as well as some evasion. He gets everything. This is another 7 move breath unit. Like, I'm a huge fan of this bloom. I'll talk about it more in detail, but like,
His strong attack is still locked at 3 range.
I know, but
I don't see that.
he's got the 4 move to make up for it. And he, has
The
Frizzens'
phase.
resistance, which is great. Yes, hi, Puffin. Oh, so Trop, you're also using Queen Slime, too. How's her damage, by the way?
It should be the same as KSS.
It should be, right? I'm not missing anything. Oh,
A bit
well,
higher if she has.
let's go ahead and jump to
Not
Queen Slime. This is another one that was added to the gen pool, and then it was added a little bit later on. So we've got our full talent blossom here. God, that is a lot of HP.
I think most new she's not a new unit.
I mean, like, Grey Gnarl gets up to that, but, like, that's at, like, Awakening 5, too. But, like, this is one that's been on the general pool for, what, 7 months now? Because they put her on just a little bit before First Annie.
Yes.
And she's been on a whole bunch of value banners before that. Plus, 534 agility is a lot. Like, she thick. Yes, insane. Thank you. She thick. And her defense, too. That's 500 defense, a ton of HP, and she fast. Bless.
Also, Slime Marshal, if you want to bring a KSS.
Yeah, if you want to bring your KSS, if you want to bring your Schleiman, if you want to bring is I don't is there anything else? Is there anything I'm missing? Is that I feel like that's it.
So,
But so of course,
Medislime.
oh yeah, your Meta Slime. Thank you. Uh, she gets crack type ability potency plus 10%, just like Dread Dragon did. She also gets recovery for MP, which can be great for PvE. Maybe.
I think there's a lot of use for her. I don't know. Maybe on 38.
I
I
actually
I
used
already have a
her.
strat for that, so I didn't look.
I used her in 27 when I was still struggling to clear 27. Did not work. Still needed to get Umbra to Awakening 4 for that when I was initially doing it. That was before they actually dropped the Dragon Quest 3 Reminiscence. So it was literally right before I was trying so hard to clear 27. I was just putting my head against the wall because I was like, I need something. And I tried her, but she just didn't have the MP because I think mine was still at like Awakening 2.
I think my first clear 27, I used something like uh Percival. He pulled and another unit was sleeping both. I think.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's super fair. I went with Malroth one. I know Mystic used like Killing Machine like instantly, and I was like, yeah, I did this with Killing Machine and like King Bubble Slime. I was like, cool. I'm glad your Killing Machine is awesome. Mine is still like S1 and 0 Awakenings.
Oh, by the
Hex.
way, mine is S8 and Awaken 4.
Mine is S4 now and Awakening plus 8.
No, I don't
Still,
get those.
I don't have the orbs. I'm probably gonna end up exchanging some orbs, some figs for some orbs. I don't want to, but you know, some of these are just so. I can actually bring her up. I don't need it though. I don't need. I gotta save gold. I gotta save gold. I'm like a kid in a candy store. So this is actually one of our rare units who resists both Sizz and Bang. That is probably the best combo to resist right now. Like that is an extremely strong combo for resistance. I think it's like her, Archdemon, Seraphi.
I think Seraphi, yes.
I think that's about it as far as like relevant units. And that's probably the best one to have at least for season 3. Whoosh and Zam resistance is negligible unless your opponent comes at you with a 508 Corvus and decides to instantly delete your Queen Slime. I did that in Arena today. It was fantastic. Felt great. She is weak to sleep. Like most of our big slimes are, she is weak to sleep. So she's fairly easy to lock down to. And weak to spell lock for some reason. Oh no, now I can't. Oh wait. It's fine.
I think she has the standard slime weakness.
Is it standard for slimes to be weak to
I
spell
think
lock?
so.
That's weird.
You,
Most of
you
them don't have spells.
check the early slimes and you're gonna
Alright, let
check
me
KSS. I think he should have the same.
let's see. Let me look at Schleiman Tank real quick to see if they fix that ever. Okay, no. But let's look
It's
at
the
King Shoe
same.
Slime.
No, slime and tank should be something else.
Spell lock. Okay, yep, you were right. That seems to be the early style.
Most early units were based on like
Even Slyan.
um
Oh no, my Slyan can't.
I
Ah,
remember seeing the database. They were not by family. Was like category. Like birds were usually immune to hobbles, things like that.
hmm,
And dragons were considered birds
I
on
love that.
that.
I love that. Let's go for them. But yeah, have you done anything with Queen Slime yet, Marcos?
Oh no,
No, not
mine
even.
is S7. Mine is S7, but I Blossom nothing.
Mine is also S7, and I have Blossom Nothing, which is unfortunate to me. Yeah, it looks like she's got very similar damage potency to King She Slime, just with Crack instead, and she has a chance to lock spells, as well as rarely charm the enemy. And she's got Jade's perk because, honestly, this is a sexy body. We don't body shame here. She
No.
thick. We love that. I told you I wanted a thick bitch, and I got a thick bitch. Yeah, she has sexy body, so whenever she's hit by physical or martial attacks, she's a 20% chance to charm. That's fun. I like it. I don't like it, I'm going to be honest with you, but I use spells, so... Marcos, are you expecting to see a lot of Queen Slimes this guild versus guild?
Uh, Not on defense.
Not on defense? You don't think people will be running like a Bloom Brigade Plus with something like Queen Slime and KSS?
I don't. I I don't know about the very lower guilds, but not the ones that we usually get.
Oh, no, not the ones that Arena Watch usually gets. That's the ones that BDS usually gets.
Eh,
You usually get like
even
the
even even
rank
our
500 just cobbled together.
nah. I wish we did.
All right, so we've got Queen Slime here. Before we continue on, I actually slipped out of what I had been wanting to talk about, and that just reminded me. We've got some guild bets to place, guilds to place some bets on. So of course, we'll save Arena Watch and BDS for last. Let me go ahead. Let me bring up a new tab here. Let's just make it like can I just duplicate? Whatever. I'm gonna bring up a notepad. So let's say AW BDS. What? Why don't I just copy and paste? There we go. Can you guys see the notepad or no?
It's on the where I was.
Okay, so you guys. Okay, let me pull back here. So I'm going to save this for my own records, and I'll talk. I'm not going to try and mess around with the stream right now because I'm going to mess something up. I know I am. So first up, we'll leave Arena Watch and BDS for last. Marcos, let's talk some bets before we continue on. How about that? How do you think? Let's go closest to the pin here. Little favorable bets. How do you think Yggdrasil is going to perform this season? That's Tuki's guild. They had a whole bunch of sub guilds. I think the sub guilds split off onto their own thing and are calling themselves the Puff Puffs.
Are you gonna? So only the main one, right?
Yes, we're just talking about the main one because the main one is usually the one that places highest and has the most members that are competing for high guild versus guild standards. A lot of other guilds just kind of YOLO.
Obviously depends on who they get, but probably Plat 1, Master 2, Master 1.
Which one are you gonna lock in here? Because I'm gonna we'll play closest to the pin and we'll alternate on these. So I'm gonna lock in Marcos and
I'm
Meta.
gonna say Plat 1.
Plat 1. So you're thinking they're gonna lose at least one match in the qualifiers and basically just clean up.
So far they haven't been any lucky there, so I'm not gonna believe that's gonna change.
I think their luck is turning around. I think they're going to get screwed in Master League, though. I think they're going to get to Master League and like going to get paired up against something like Starfall or Zenith, because I think they lost to Zenith before.
Honestly, there's like 2 or 3 guilds that can beat them. 4, 4 or 5, I don't know.
I think
the others they will beat everyone.
Tuki has a fairly good chance. I don't know if they're going to go through to Master 1. I'm going to go ahead and call Master 3. So we've got a little bit of...
So they're going to get 2 very strong
I
on their
think
group.
they could end up in a really bad bucket in Master and they could just get like beat the hell out in Master. That
Okay.
being said, I've been completely wrong before. I think our Master outside of Starfall last season was fairly easy. Um, let's talk about Zenith though. I think Zenith. I think they got sent to gold 2 seasons in a row. I know Zenith has a lot of whales, but I know it's a lot of really busy people. I'm gonna call Plat 1 for Zenith. No, I'm gonna call Plat 2 for Zenith.
And if Eye in the Sky is busy, if he's not, they can be as high as Master 1.
That's fair.
Otherwise, um, I'm gonna go Master 2 for them.
Master 2. And we're gonna put that contingent on if Eye in the Sky is busy and ready to get all these guys in shape for Zenith for these matchups. All right, Marcos, you're up first. Razorin is typing one of the original like Discord conglomerate groups.
Master 1.
Really, you think they're gonna hit Master 1 again?
Zero bias here, Master 1.
Master 1. All right, we're going Master 1. I think Razor in his typing has a lot of good players. Oh, I covered the chat, so I haven't been able to see them. Tell you, bro, I said hi. Maybe in the first 4 fights. No notepad. How you guys feel about the Facebook guild, DQT Aces? You know what? Yeah, zero bias. Just a little bit. DQT Aces, I didn't even have them put down. As far as I know, they kind of just YOLO their matches and they just kind of enjoy themselves and go through casual. So I didn't put them down. I kind of just put down either guilds that are really notorious or are known to like communicate or are infamous in some respects. So Razor in is typing. I know last season we sent them to Platinum. And it was a lot of fun because you guys were working with them. But I think they've got a little bit too many YOLO players. I'm thinking Plat
Yes,
one.
we
I'm
were
thinking Plat one.
coaching, but we didn't coach them all, so at some points the matches
Yeah.
were done without us. Yes.
So I'm thinking they hit Plat one. I think they've got enough to at least ensure Plat one because there's not a whole lot of competition right now. All right. So I know this name is kind of taboo to you right now, but we're going to talk about Kage's guild, specifically Kage's new guild. For those of you who don't know, Kage is trying out his new scheme, and his scheme is start a new guild because hopefully that gives him better matches and gives him a better RNG and seeding. Of course,
I think it's not gonna work.
I don't think it's going to work either.
I
Because
think it's stamina based, the seeds.
pretty much right after he announced that that was actually what he was doing, uh, Eye in the Sky messaged Trop and was like, "Ha, that's hilarious. We fought 4 guilds last season who tried that exact same strategy." I'm thinking the seeding doesn't really matter here. I'm thinking maybe Malcolm's just kind of gonna do the thing again, and he's just gonna be like, "Huh, we're just gonna do Kage's matches manually. The rest of them can be RNG. Kage, you get Starfall and Arena Watch and everything and anything."
I think if he has even close to the same look, but he could even be a bit better. But his now he has a lot less players and a lot of rematches against him. So
So
I think if his scheme works and he fights bots, he could be as high as master. But if he doesn't, he's gonna be silver 3, silver 4.
Silver 3 again, Silver 2 again. So I'm actually going to give Kage the benefit of the doubt here for one reason only. Kirby's Guild Players Monumental imploded, and Kage was able to scrounge up a bunch of Kirby's best players and added them to his main roster. The other ones got added to Dapper's Guild, who Dapper is now one of the sub guilds of Kage's Guild. I think he's got enough good players
How many
there.
members does he have?
I think he's pushing for the full 20 now. I think his original idea was push like 14 or so,
Oh,
but I think
if
he's
he's
pushing
a
the full 20 now.
if he's a 20, then it's I don't know. Maybe gold or plat. I don't know.
I don't
Can we
think he,
look at the guild?
I I don't
Let's check.
I have no idea. I don't know if they've changed the name a couple of
If
times.
if he's at 14 members and he fights normal adversaries, he's gonna lose.
Oh yeah, 100%. He gets matched up against something like Starfall or BDS or Arena Watch, or maybe even Razor in his typing. There,
Because
there's a good chance he gets taken out there.
having a skip is good, but having a rematch is way better.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So
And 6 rematches is too much.
I get my first guess here. I'm gonna guess that Kage's original plan, his 14 and nuke the server, not nuke the guild and 14, would have gone poorly. I think he's going to. I think he picked up enough good players that I think he's going to push into Master
He's ranked
2.
30, his guild, so probably he's at 20 members.
Yeah, I think he's going to
I'm
push into Master 2.
I'm gonna go gold one.
Marcos with still no faith in Kage and his schemes, talking about gold 1 for Kage. That's fair. I mean, we saw the last like 2 seasons. Kage got pushed to like no, I think first season they did Master because they got all the chump matches. Second season he tried schemes and he got every poor match he possibly could and got straight sent to silver.
Oh, mini cubes in his guild. Nice.
Minikube is in his guild. Kage has recruited quite a few people, and it's looking pretty good for him right now. Starfall. Actually, I'm gonna call it if he ends up in Master, it's not gonna be because of his scheme. It's gonna be because of the members he picked up.
The scheme, he's not using the scheme.
And I feel like he's gonna go on. He's gonna be like, "My scheme worked. It was perfect."
The scheme to reorganize the guild and kick the lower ones.
He actually didn't even really do that. He kind of just kicked the inactives because he ended up actually talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, no, I was just messing around. Yeah, no, just kind of kicked inactives and kind of people who were just leeching." Because when you get a guild together where it's all focused around, oh hey, first come first serve, apply now, you're gonna get some leeches. So I think he's trimmed a good amount of them off, and he's got like actual genuine players now. I think that gives him a good shot at Master at least. Because I know there's at least a little bit of communication among these guys, and like there's at least a little bit of chat on these guys.
I'm gonna bet on he having the same look as
before.
Yes.
So let's talk about Starfall. So we know Starfall is going to end up in either Master or Platinum. There's no other chance for Starfall.
I guess Master 1.
Master 1?
Yes.
So considering our Starfall luck, I'm going to think that we're going to face them again. I'm wondering if we face them in prelims or if we face them in the actual matchup. I think I'm going to call Starfall at Plat 1 because I think we might get matched up with them. I think we might be able to take them down in the prelims. Now, this is probably me just talking out of my ass because I want to hit them to Plat 1 like how they hit us to Plat 1. But I've got a good feeling about this bet.
I'm betting that they are not gonna fight you.
So
I don't know if they fight you, they still have. I'd say still 60-40 for them.
They still have a really good chance even if they take us on. Partially because they do a lot of the same communication we do. And
they have better defense.
Yeah, they got a lot of freaking whales. I mean, we've got some people who've been inspired recently. Oh, let me fix my hair. I'm looking gross. But yeah, so outside of that, we still have 2 other guilds. One of them is the notorious, that one who shall not be named, Chase. Chase came back. He bought a new account for the dying game. How dare y'all play this dying game and have fun? But he bought a new account for it, and since then, he has started a new guild. As far as yes, Chase did actually come back. And Kage's been poking at him a lot, which is really how we all know that he came back, because Kage's been nonstop on that.
I did fight him last GVG.
Oh, did you? Do you know
Yes.
where they ended up?
I think Master 3 or Master 4.
Seriously? Thank you, Vash, for the follow.
We fought him in groups.
Okay. So I think you might have had a little bit of luck there. What do you... I've got the first bet on this one. Damn. I know they did a lot of like random Discord recruiting as well. I think we're gonna look at Chase's guild, and I'm gonna say gold 1. I'm gonna say gold 1 for Chase's guild.
I'm going with Plat 3.
Plat 3. All right. Last one, we have one of our other notorious guilds. Game Vision is in this guild. Swaggercraft 1. This one is Dapper's guild. The Dapper P agency, also one of the Kage sub-guilds now. They finally got together and they got enough members for Guild versus Guild. They missed it last season, but it looks like they've done some recruiting, and it looks like they're looking fairly good right now. As far as I know, Game Vision is probably the big member here. You're up first on the bet here. How do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to get that Child of Draki Ma luck, or do you think...
I think they're going to go for Master 4.
Master 4? All right.
I think they're going to get easy qualifiers.
So you think they're going to get the easy qualifiers, and you think they're going to get stomped in the actual main event?
Probably.
Considering that they're still a little new, I think they've got some good bones. I don't think they have the coordination to pull it through. I'm going to call gold 1. Because I don't know if Game Vision is enough to carry, and I don't know the other players that well. All right, Marcos.
Coordination, I guess.
It's time. I'm not going to put a bet on my guild. I'm not going to ask you to put a bet on your guild either. What do you think Arena Watch is going to be?
What did I say for Starfall?
You said
Master 1,
Starfall
right?
at Master 1.
And you're saying you're going to face him, so Master 2?
You think we're going to hit Master 2. All right. Now, I'm not going to ask you, I'm not going to place a bet on AW, but I will place a bet on BDS. I think your luck might be up. I think you might get a Starfall match. I think you might get one of those tougher matches. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the prelims or if it's going to be in the main event. I think that's going to be the big determiner here. I think BDS may finally be looking at a plat. Now, of course, I will happily recant this if your luck does hold through and you don't get Starfall or one of those crazy TW, Taiwan, or Thailand groups, because I know they've been wailing for a lot of these units too. But I think BDS might be due for a plat here.
I don't think we're gonna have too much problem against those whales. I think that their defense is good, but I don't know if their offense is on par.
Some of them are fairly good. Some of them are fairly good.
I get though.
That's mine. That's my guess right now. I think I'm fully ready to get busted on this bet, but that's where I'm going to put it down, and I will be happy to be wrong on that one. But I think you've had enough luck with matchmaking so far. I think you might have the rough time this time.
We did get one or two hard-ish matches. I think the biggest difference was the smallest difference was 100 points.
100 points?
Yes, it was like 2.7 versus 2.6, I
That's
think.
pretty close. That's pretty close.
But that was without any coaching and anything that we didn't do, so we could be higher. So
Could
maybe.
be higher. Could also get Starfall this time.
Oh yeah.
And I think Starfall is definitely. I think with the recent units that have come out, I think Starfall might be back. I think we might have pushed our luck a little bit too well last season with our actual beating of Starfall. I think it
Honestly,
might be a little bit rough for us this time. I'm
if I
hoping
had
that it's not.
if I had to bet BDS versus Starfall, I think it would be very hard for us to win. BDS versus Arena Watch, there's a chance. I
I would
I
love to see,
wouldn't say
and
it's in our favor, but it's not impossible.
I would love to see Arena Watch versus BDS either as like the very first match or the very last match. Like, I don't want to see that as like our last prelim match because I'm gonna be stressing and it's not gonna be fun for me. I want to see this at like either set my expectations early or like really let it be a finale for me. Fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna save this and we're gonna revisit these bets next time. So let me find a folder for this real quick. What's a good folder? Um, GVG Season 3 bets. There we go. I'll finish that up. So, all right. We'll get back to this real quick. We only got a little bit left. Lieutenant Gorsby Purvis, as far as I've been told, even from like Awakening 1 or 2, he's enough to drop Zaro to 0. He's Zap physical DPS. He's extremely fast. Um,
Yes, he goes.
he's got Giulianti level speeds.
He goes pretty much always before 0.
Yeah. And he's got the Thunderbolt triple. He's got a high crit rate. He's weak to Bang. He's weak to Zam. He's weak to Confusion, too. His main stuff is really just like that Thunderbolt triple. He gets a massive attack and agility boost. I think Aces was
I think
posting a
he
picture.
has standard beast status weakness.
No, he has the standard humanoid beast status weakness, which is Confusion instead of Sleep.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Master of Noon. Which one is yours?
What?
I know. He was saying he missed us. I think I had the chat covered for a moment. PvP Legacy. What is PvP Legacy? I haven't heard of this guild. Marcos, have you heard of PvP Legacy?
Um, PvP Legacy. Where are they on the? Where are you
Is
guys
this
on
your first
the
season of Guild
rank?
versus Guild?
On the stamina rank?
What's the stamina rank? Is this your first season for Guild versus Guild? Like, I know it's Dapper's first season for Guild versus Guild because he's been doing recruiting for like 2 months nonstop, and like everybody's been trying to help. We got install. We are a sub guild to Kage. So wait, are
They,
you the second sub guild to Kage guild?
I think they are the. I think Dapper
Installs
is the
guild.
mid tier, and yes, Dapper is the low tier. They should be the mid tier, I guess.
I thought Dapper. I don't know. So if we call this one like the mid tier, let's go ahead and add this one. We were platinum 1. We comp guild to Kage. I don't know.
I'm gonna take a look at the members if I find what are
It's
they.
PvP Legacy. What ranking is your guild?
I'm already at 120 and didn't find them. Ah, found it. 125.
125.
Yes. They
Um,
are trying the 14 member thing.
they're trying the 14 members.
Yes.
Oh bless. Can you tell us some of the members in PvP Legacy?
I the only one I know is Piova.
Piova. Okay, Piova's in that guild. Master of Noon is in that guild. I don't know their
I
username in game, but
I don't know how good they are. I know that Piova spends on the banners,
spends
but
and then
other than that,
immediately regrets it.
and that's it. I know that last time they on the first tournament she was in the guild and she quit the game
Oh,
before coming back.
again.
So she pretty much forfeited all her matches.
Okay.
But I don't know if uh, she probably has a good box because she spins.
Oh, I thought Zage, whatever, got pulled to the main Kage Guild. Apparently, they got sent to
Oh yeah, Piova has got a lot of things.
yeah.
But
Piova has a lot
looking
of
at the
things.
box, yeah.
Install is trying to become the next Nocturne, and then Zage or Zage. I don't know the actual pronunciation. Somebody correct me if they get the chance. I know they whale and they have a ton of units because I've seen that box. Because I think I was right next to them on one of the CP rankings when I was trying to push, or they were at one of the top CP rankings and I was trying to push
Mm,
family. By the way, I'm going for dragons now because I just want to crush Trop's dreams. That's it.
seems fair. Um,
My only goal is beating Trop in dragons.
I think
Um,
uh, in their case it could go either way. If the strat works, they could be facing very easy enemies.
I think
Ended up
that
at
this is
Master,
going
or
to most
I
of
think
them
the
have
the
Awakening 3 on top meta units. I'll
um
give them the
I
benefit of
don't
the
know.
doubt. I'll go Plat 2.
I'm gonna I was gonna agree with that, but let's see. Let's go plat 3 just so
Plat
it's
3,
not a tie.
and we'll see who's
Just because it's
closest to
not
the
a
pin
tie.
on that one.
Yes.
With the adding Dimdra to the regular S pool in Japan. Yeah. Alright, let me resave this one. But yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to know about Purvis. He has a follow-up attack, so he's got a 50% chance even if he doesn't like immediately knock something out. He can still follow up with just like an extra little huh, and boom, it's dead. Possibly even more if you put something like Meteorite Sword on him. Um, his bloom is pretty much just straight extra stats and damage. It's Thunderbolt triple, critical hit, Fierce Tiger, which is the agility and attack up, and then I think he gets a little bit more HP just so he's durable enough to actually exist. Um,
Yep.
he's really good. If you need like zap damage, he's really good. As far as I know, I don't
Well,
actually. I just got him on a value banner. He's sitting at level 1.
I don't have him, and I have an Awaken 5 Bianca, so
Oh, bless you hit that value banner like crazy. I guess you're really excited for the bride blooms.
oh yeah. That was the only one I was gonna do, but now it's
Wait, did you
even
did
better.
you hit all of those awakenings like straight up off of? Um,
Uh, I on the first event I pulled her on the narrow banner.
yeah.
I awakened her with shards a long time ago. Um, and then all the others were value banners.
Oh, bless.
I never pulled for her.
Well, that's gonna be a fun value banner for her. Not a value, a fun bloom for you when she comes around because that's gonna be a really nice bloom because she's definitely the
Yes.
best of the 5. So we talked a little bit about Queen Slime
Five?
already. Um, Marcos, did you have anything else to add on Queen Slime?
No.
All right, we'll go ahead. We'll finish up on Queen Slime. We talked about her pretty much. And Nightclubber. So this is the fun one. This, at least for me and Umaro, this is like the extremely fun one because we were immediately in Nightclubber's corner the second that Bloom got released, while everybody was freaking out about Queen Slime. So if we look at that attack stat, that's a 468. It's not very high. Good amount of HP though. Agility's not very high either. But of course, combo Ultra Stomp. It's
Yep. It
a
is broken.
yeah, 240%, but it's 3 times. And as we look here, he has 5% extra crit rate. and then he gets an extra 10% crit rate from his bloom, and he follows up with an Ultra Stomp for every unit he hits. How many Max Awaken banner units do you have? Oh, I don't want to talk about that right now. I think I'm up to 6. But
Up to 1.
but I did get some value banner luck. So I think 2 of them were from value banners, almost entirely. But yeah, this unit is Whack-A-Mole. He's absolutely insane for PvE. He has potential for Arena on really close weeks. Um, I, I'm
He's
gonna
good for arena attack, not as much for defense.
not as much for defense. Possibly if you like stick him with a Diamond Slime, possibly.
Yes.
But
But then so is every unit.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like hitting Rapthorn with a Diamond Slime. But the thing is, you can still put up like your Dolmagus, and he'll go for Dolmagus for the combo Ultra Stomp and just miss. But yeah, you can Voltron him pretty easily. Pretty much as soon as he was released, the very first thing I said was, "Oh, look at that! I can do Giulianti for attack +1 and or punching for bang damage. I can use Schwartzold or Golden Puppet for 2 more stages of attack. Run Terry for physical potency up and move up, and just and use Dole as the finisher to help group things up and just go to town with Nightclubber, and just that's all you got to do. The problem
By the
is,
way, look at that defense.
oh yeah, that's Diamond Slime levels of defense, by the way. 810, very easy to hit 999 and max out that defense. If you haven't done that with a unit before, it's fantastic. It feels amazing. Funnily enough, it'll make it hard for him to hit other Nightclubbers.
Oh yeah, he probably does almost no damage without some. No, if there isn't any buffs, he's not gonna do any damage.
Yeah, getting attack on him is actually going to be incredibly important, as is getting a lot of agility on him. So you'll have to kind of balance that out per match, whether you need more agility or more attack.
I think his agility is fine-ish because
A lot of things are getting up to the 500s at this point.
yes, but he does have 3 hits, so
That's fair, but like
it's gonna guarantee the follow up, and he hits a lot. It's okay. He's gonna miss some attacks.
he
That's
is
expected.
definitely probably the ultimate meme for Arena. I've been trying to get clips, but this Arena this week is just so far spread and just such a bad arena for him that I just wasn't able to get anything. Hopefully next week we have a better looking arena and I can kind of focus on that instead. So check out my YouTube channel. It's Metazoa DQT. Hopefully I'll have some Nightclubber clips next week for arena. Of course, you'll see it. I'm gonna post it everywhere. If you're in the community, you will see it. Last but not least, Marcos, let's work on a Guild versus Guild Season 3 element tier list. So, of course, I went ahead, I put Sizz towards S rank. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I agree. There are too many units weak to it.
Too many units weak to it. Very few, if any, relevant units are going to be resisting it. So you can be hitting pretty much neutral or brilliant on most everything. But
Yes.
let's go a little bit more down the line. I've got in parentheses here kind of just what our qualifications are. So one thing's going to be an S rank because that's going to be our best one. One thing's going to be an A rank. 2 things are going to be in B rank. 1 in C, 1 in D, 2 in F. So Frizz, how are you feeling about Frizz, Marcos?
Frizz. Too many units have it. Too many units resist it.
I feel like it's in a little bit of a nebulous space here where you've got a lot of units who resist it, but the units who resist it are units that you're probably not pushing Frizz on anyway, and a lot of Frizz units now are like dual typed into something else, so it helps to make it better.
I feel like I don't. Let me check the units that are weak to it. That
One of the
resist it.
big problems though is Fallen Angel Corvus is going to be a big unit this upcoming season because a lot of people pulled for him and a lot of people went for it. And he does heavy resist Frizz with 20% DR and a lot of HP.
Let me check.
Meanwhile, on the other end of
Notable
the
unit.
spectrum, we've got like
Baramos,
Nocturnus.
Domegos, or I think
Domagus is
that's
fine.
it. No, from the ones they're weak to it.
Nocturnus as well,
Baramos,
because people will always use Nocturnus because they spent gems on him.
I don't think you're gonna see a lot of him anymore.
I'm hoping not. He's just so annoying. I still see him everywhere in Arena though.
Oh,
Um,
I I'd say for attack it's probably a BRC.
all right. I think we're looking a little bit more. I think it's got just enough. Puffin, don't you dare! Sorry, she's trying to chew on my USBs for my headphones. I think it's got just enough applications that Frizz can still be useful. I think it's got to be tempered with understanding of how to use it, though. I think it's both good and bad. I'd place it in B rank. Do you think that's fair since you were on the verge between B and C?
Yeah, it's fair.
All right. Crack. How are you feeling about Crack?
Cracks. Let me check the ones week. The only notable one I see is Raptor.
That's as far as I can really think of too. Raptor. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that are resisting Crack and Bang right now too. As kind of their dual, what do I resist? Crack and Bang. There's not a whole lot that I can think of that really is like weak to Crack. It'll hit neutral on a whole bunch of stuff, but not a whole lot that I'm thinking that really like does the job really well.
Think D or F, but maybe F.
I'm thinking maybe D tier, just because.
I think we're gonna run out of spaces because we're not gonna want to put anything on F, but we
Oh,
can
as far as we're
change it
talking
later.
about F, I'm gonna go ahead and just put this guy right here. Zam is that hard F tier. Like between Fallen Angel Corvus and Zaro, both heavy resisting Zam, and it just not doing much against a whole bunch of units. Like a lot of the Dark Lords and a lot of like big threat units are just like, huh, Zam, that's cute. Hard
It is strong versus Erdrick, so it's gonna be good at some point in the
at
future.
some point, but we're not gonna get Erdrick for season 3. This is just
Yeah,
for season
probably
3
not.
right now.
I don't think they're gonna rush that much.
I don't think they're going to rush that much either. And even if they do, we still have to get Creator God Matascaura out, who also resists Zam. But it's okay. There's a ray of hope on the horizon because Erdrick's going to come out and he's going to be weak to Zam. So Barbarous won't be completely useless eventually. How are you feeling about Whoosh?
I I'd like to put Whoosh on B and Crack on F.
You really think Whoosh is doing better than Crack right now?
Yes.
I think the big thing for
I don't
Whoosh
know.
is it's a little bit in between right now because it depends on what you're facing. Like if you're facing newer teams with a lot of new units, it's going to be an F tier because like a lot of those new units either resist or are neutral to Whoosh. There's very few things that actually come out that are like weak to Whoosh. But if you're facing like the Bloom Brigade, like a lot of
I
things in the Bloom Brigade are weak to Whoosh.
I'd s- I'd I'd say change to one F, two Ds, and here we go.
One F, two Ds. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
We'll do two Ds.
Because Whoosh is versus Eric and Crack is versus Rap. That's pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. It also hits Veronica, and people like to use Veronica a lot too.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. I think we can put Whoosh in D tier with. That feels so weird to put Crack in D tier. Crack used to be like the king of Arena.
Doma.
Zoma, yeah. Um, how you feeling about Zap?
Uh, B?
I feel about the same too. I feel like it's got about as much longevity as Bang does. I think the important distinction though is usually if something's like weak or sorry, resist Zap, it almost always resists Bang too, so it's just not as applicable. And things that are weak to Zap are usually weak to Bang. But also there's other things that are weak to Bang, which kind of just makes Bang just like a little bit better than Zap. So I feel like it's pretty easy to go ahead and put Bang there at A. Because there's a lot of really important new meta units who are really weak to Bang.
I don't know. I feel like I was gonna put Typeless on 8.
Really? You would go with Typeless on A over C rank? You'd put Bang in C rank as weaker than
I
Zap?
think pretty. I don't know. Probably Zap SC and Bang SB.
Zap is C? That's fair.
Yeah.
I feel like Bang is right now just a little bit better than Zap is, and functions as like a slightly better Zap because
Fair.
they just
Most units have the same pair.
yeah, and then Typeless of course because Diamond and because of a whole bunch of
Pretty
other
much
things,
because of Diamond. Yeah, mostly Diamond.
and because you can always just hit neutral. So
Oh
let's go
yeah.
ahead and copy these over. So what are we thinking as far as Sizz goes for defense?
How are we hating those elements on defense? As in, how good is it if I'm using them?
Yeah, if you're using it on defense, like if you're structuring your team around like
Uh,
this is my defense team, like I'm using a mono Sizz unit.
uh, Let me check the resistance then.
Because
The
once
other way
again, we're
around.
looking at like Archdemon, I think, Queen Slime.
I think at least
It
probably
can hit
D.
Dole. B.
I don't know. There. Let me check. B or A. I think.
So I guess here's the question:
I don't know
What do you?
which ones they.
That's fair. I'm gonna put it in A for right now.
I
I
think typeless might be A.
I think typeless is going to be the A too. That's what I'm thinking because it's like you can always guarantee that they're not going to resist it, even if the damage ceiling isn't as high. Like no matter
Yes.
what comp they're using, like typeless is
Gonna hit.
always
Yeah.
going to hit. It's going to hit for the same amount every time, ish. If so
Yeah.
long as it's not physical,
Pretty
then you have
much.
to worry about defense. Um, so we've got a couple of different elements here. So we've got bang. I'm going to call it. So I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna put bang in like D tier for defense. Yes, it's
What's
really
our
good.
response to Bang?
There's a lot of things that resist bang. Like a lot of
I'm
things.
looking for
Easy right now to
Corvus,
just
Domegus. Yeah.
yeah. Like I feel like as far as like putting a bang unit on your defense, like they've got to do something besides use bang, right? Like you're putting Barry on defense. You're not putting Barry on defense because you want him to use Compress Kaboom. If he does, then it's probably against a bang weak unit, and that's fine. A 1300 Compress Kaboom is awesome. But
Yes.
like you're basically using him for like Necrogon and Miasma, and you're using him for the status more than anything else. Veronica, it feels like
Well, she
yeah,
does have the crack.
she does have the crack too, which helps her out, but like
But I never had any trouble facing a Veronica on defense.
I have the tiniest bit, but that's just because I like to stress test and see if I'm put in like a bad situation. Like, what am I gonna do if like I suddenly have her in range?
I don't do
Do I
as
risk it?
much grainy matches as you, so you're probably better at
Fair.
this than me.
You know what? Just because
And by
I think
not doing as much, I mean I do none.
fair. I think Bang can actually probably go up to like C rank because I think Bang is still pretty good here.
Yep.
Zap I think is going to be our big boy here for throwing into D rank because once again, when you're looking at it, it's just worse bang right now. Which isn't saying that it's bad. It's just saying like they kind of threw anything that was weak to
There are
bang is also weak to zap.
um, a lot of demon lords resist that.
You right. You right. Zap is, especially because a lot of people really. The question is, which one goes into F? Is it Zap or is it Zam? I feel like Zam is still pretty bad because of Zaro and
I
Fallen
think
Angel Corvus.
Zem.
I
I
think
think
I
say
think
Zem.
Zam carries over as well. I think.
Let me check. Let me check the
All right.
resistance to Zem.
So double check real quick, but I'm gonna
Uh,
go ahead and preliminarily put him
oh
into
yeah,
F.
no, yeah, it has to be there.
Yeah. So how are we feeling about Frizz right now?
It's the other D.
You think it's the other D?
Yeah, it's very easy to
There's a
find
lot of
someone
units
that
that resist Frizz.
resist it, and usually the units that resist it have crack, and usually the units that use crack are weak to that use freeze are weak to crack.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're just
So
gonna slap that right into D tier there for defense. So be
yes,
careful with that if you're using something like Dragon Lord's True Form, just because it's not gonna be great. Now that being said, we have Frizz and Zap paired for defense on D tier. That's just talking about like if you have a Frizz unit versus like a Zap unit, something like Purvis versus something like Dragon Lord's True Form. This isn't talking about something like Grey Gnarl, where like you can guarantee using both of these. Like Grey Gnarl's going back up to S tier because he's basically like typeless plus. Like he's typeless, but he can also hit brilliant. Like it's good.
with since he has the two elements, he's gonna favor the one that's
Yeah, he's
better
always
for
going
the
to favor the
situation.
one that can hit brilliant or hit harder, and because
This
like nothing pairs those
this
two.
would affect more someone like Dread Dragon that is mono element,
Yeah. Let's
or
see.
in Zap case Bianca, in Freeze case the LTF.
So this means we're actually bringing up Crack and Whoosh, which I think is pretty fair because I think Crack has like one big thing that that resists it. Maybe it's basically
I
like a
I'm
typeless minus, maybe
I'm
like a tiny bit of a
looking.
typeless plus.
I'm I'm seeing Purvis, and that's it
Purvis
for
for
resistance.
Purvis resist Crack.
Apparently,
I don't know. Joke's on me, I guess. I didn't even realize that. Let me
yep.
go back
Crack
because
and Whoosh.
I must have missed something here because I guess I forgot to talk about the actual resistances on Purvis. So as we look, yeah, Key resists Crack and Whoosh, but he's weak to Bang and Zam. But Zam's still pretty bad, and so is Bang to have as a resistance.
By the way, if there are units weak to them, Valencia is still very even neutral. She still does a lot of damage. I
Fair,
u- I did use her a lot on the GVG, like 3 times I think.
yeah,
Out of how many matches did we have? 14.
14, yeah, fair.
I do think I used Bear mostly like 13, so it's a bit
Yeah,
different.
bet. So you have this here. This was a quick little scrap together that we did. I automatically dislike Purvis now. Resisting both of Dai's non-coups isn't fun to deal with. I mean, yeah, we knew Dai was gonna get power crept. He doesn't really do anything besides damage. Besides, we have cooler Dai coming out in just a couple months, and that's Erdrick, who doesn't look like a little kid in a Halloween costume, which is why I hate that unit. So he like, oh my god. He looks like he's wearing like cardboard armor and like he's got just like a little knife with him. Like it looks ridiculous. Like Hyunkel is the flip side of that where like he looks amazing and like he's so cool and like the armor is fleshed out and it's got like actual like 3D and like it's well put together and like the design and the aesthetics and the graphics that they put together are like so good, but his kit is garbage. Like not
I
even
think
like
he's
Die where like at least there's like, oh man, there's like a lot of damage
I
here.
think
Oh, that's so great.
the best thing he has is the martial skill, right?
Yeah, it's like the martial skill and like his abilities to not die maybe.
Oh, yeah, that can be. annoying on the
Even Shark Eye was
defense, I
talking
guess.
about it. He was like, damn. Kyunko really got me. He's off the defense team now. Just he just doesn't do enough. But anyway, we're starting to head into the 2 hour mark. Marcos, we went over a whole bunch of units. We talked a whole lot. We're going into Guild versus Guild Season 3. We've got an element tier list here for you. Do you have any closing thoughts on anything that we talked about today?
Pretty much. I think we covered it all. Um, the GVG is gonna favor whoever got these last units. Pretty mainly Diamond. Um, I think anything else on defense, it's not gonna be as good. If people got Raptorn, he's still gonna be really good. On defense.
I will say, I feel like I'm very much in league with you here. I feel like the Guild versus Guild is really going to be a lot more focused towards the banner units. I feel like the delay in Guild versus Guild was really nice, though, for our more free to play and casual players, because the blooms are going to help out a lot. Like, they're not going to be.
And I don't feel like perfects are gonna happen as much.
Oh, no.
One
Oh, you know
sixes
what?
are gonna be way harder.
I forgot.
If
Let me avert your eyes for a moment. This is a secret only for Arena Watch members, but I wanted to bring this up for you guys. Let me see if you guys can actually see this or not. So this is actually going to be not this one. I lied. That's I think season 4. Here we go. This one is our map for the next season. If you can see, it's pretty widespread. There's a lot going on here.
really, I thought it was other. Are you sure it's this one?
Yeah, it's this one. It's very similar to the one we had for season 2, which was this one.
I thought it was the one that was just a thing on the back. Good.
Yeah, so we've got this one here. I'm not worrying about it because you guys will literally see this tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, it makes no difference.
Yeah. Um, if we look at how the tiles are placed here, there's a lot of room for our forward place units to get baited very easily by things like Dole and Fallen Angel Corvus. There's also a lot of room to kind of split your team. And that was something that I talked about a little bit beforehand, just kind of like splitting the team and kind of seeing if that can push or anything like that.
On defense, it's risky. I think.
It is. It definitely is. It'll depend on who you have on your team. I feel like the blooms help a lot though because a lot of them are high range blooms too. Like you'll have not Queen Slime, Dread Dragon with 7 range. You compare that with something like Grey Gnarl with also 7 range, and suddenly you're able to hit a whole lot of units. There's no real hiding because if they're forward placed, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now just like putting them on the edges here, you've got a vanguard that like hits the vast majority of the map.
Yeah.
So I feel
I,
like our next season is going to be maybe.
I don't know because I think if you split your team, if the enemy is defensive enough, they can just put everyone on one side, take one hit, and kill you one by one.
That's fair. I guess the hope here is more so that something happens where you cost them points more so than like actually causing a loss. Because I feel like, at least for BDS and Arena Watch, neither of us are really worried about like causing losses against things like, I don't know, a rank 500 guild, because like that's just going to happen anyway. I feel like
Yeah.
for us at least, it should be a little bit more focused towards like costing points in those big matchups with stuff like Starfall, where yes, of course they're going to
Probably.
win their match. Of course they're going to win their match, unless something crazy happens.
And that's why where Punk Can't see.
Yep, and that's why we brought up Platypunk. But thank you for joining us, everybody. We're going to call it here at the 2 hour
Okay.
and 5 minute mark. Marcos, thank you so much for joining me today and being my whale versus fish member
Okay.
here. And everybody, thank you so much for joining the stream. Hopefully this recorded this time I'll be able to get a video on demand up. It should be published as one when we finish here. And you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything of the nature, feel free to message me. I'm Metazoa on Discord, Reddit. I think I'm Cosmic still because it won't let me change my username. And I'm in the Facebook group. Feel free to message me. If you guys want to see anything upcoming in our Bloom Fiesta episode, feel free to message me as well. Subscribe on Twitch. We'd love to see it. Or subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a whole bunch of shorts, videos, matches, all kinds of stuff. And I still have some evergreen guides that I built. They're called the Tactical Arena Guides. Your tag for Arena. I try to do them as evergreen as possible. But of course, you can look here for the TAP podcast and see some updates to that evergreen strategy. Everybody, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Stay golden. I'll
Goodbye.
see you in the arena.